Hi guys, my name's Will, and today I'll be introducing to you guys the Energy Policy and Conservation Act. In the rest of this presentation, I'll be abbreviating the act as the EPCA. So, the act was based on the 1973 oil crisis when the members of Organization of Arab Petroleum Exporting Countries, as they proclaimed an oil embargo on the U.S. The U.S. government at this time realized that excessive dependence on oil was the biggest uncertainty in the development of the U.S. economy. Reducing excessive dependence on oil has become one of the most important tasks to the U.S. government. In response to the oil crisis and improving oil use efficiency, the U.S. government has implemented a series of policies and measures to encourage oil substitution and other conservation technologies and promote the development of the alternative energy sources. We'll move on to the next page. You see a chart of the 1975 energy consumption. As we can see, 78% of the energy consumption was the uses of petrol, and 9% of electricity, 5% of coal, and 8% of natural gas. This really points out the U.S., on the basis of this oil crisis, from the embargo from the Middle East, was really put the U.S. on the line. And the next page, I'll be talking about the main goals of the EPCA. So the main objective of the EPCA, in my opinion, are to increase energy production and supply, reduce energy demand, provide energy efficiency, and give the executive additional power to cope with the energy supply disruptions. In another word, this policy contains the security of the supply and competitiveness and also sustainability. Make three contradictive elements of the energy consumption working together to improve the U.S. economy. Move on to the next page. I'll be talking about the advantages and the costs. The first, exporting energy is good for the economy, such as crude oil export will generate $15 billion in annual revenue growth at current prices. Two, in oil producing areas, more workers will be employed for oil exploration and production, as well as local service industries. And three, in the event of international emergencies such as warfare and world hunger and such, exports may be temporarily suspended, providing additional oil for domestic demand. Although such extreme measure may harm U.S. trade relations, but it can increase the domestic supply for United States. Next page, I'll be talking about the potential problems caused by the act. This first potential problem caused by the EPCA will be the restriction on crude oil export may begin to weaken the efficiency of the U.S. oil economy. Next to this dialogue, we can see there's a chart that mark from the year of 1985 all the way to 2016. Let's see the natural gas. It seems like the import and export scale are not big of a deficit, as well as the petrol. But we pay attention to the crude oil, there's always a big deficit in between the import and export scale. So the numbers has a pretty big deficit. And we move on to the next one. There will be the second potential problem caused by the net, which is the main beneficiaries of the export ban are some of the lucky refineries in the central United States, which they can find their own oil exploration spot, and then not the American consumers that can buy crude oil at low prices and then sell them at current market price instead of the cheapest price that they actually spend on, which means the oil market price is at a certain level, but they can get the oil from the central part of the United States for much cheaper price, but still selling them at the fair market price at a time. This will probably cause a potential problem and financial circumstances, which is not fair for the people that have paid such high price for the oil. And move on to the potential problem number 3 that caused by the act is that the proponents of the export ban may argue that it increases national security by slowing the depletion of the U.S. oil fields. However, the ban also slows down the production growth and increases the country's dependence on important energy. So as we know, the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, the EPCA, it was the United States Act of Congress has responded to the 1973 oil crisis, as I mentioned before. But by creating a comprehensive approach to federal energy policy, the primary goal of the EPCA are to increase energy production and supply, reduce energy demands, providing energy efficiency, and give the executive branch additional power to respond to disruption in energy supply. And this actually contradicted with our third potential problem. It means that the EPCA established the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the Energy Conservation Program for Consumer Product, and incorporated average fuel economy regulations. Move on to the next page. I'll be talking about the EPCA's impact on other energy resources. First one, it will be the coal. So this ban on using oil and gas in industry boilers and power generation led to a major switch away from the gas and oil toward coal. This rush toward coal has led to a score of aging coal facilities that now have to be replaced as part of our national environmental policy and our international climate policy. So there's definitely going to be some loss of jobs on those who were working in the coal factory. And as well as number 2, natural gas. Natural gas does not need to be processed by the refineries like oil and petrol, and is more limited to its transportation cost. Due to the establishment of this bill, the control of the natural gas price led to a failure to develop the Alaska natural gas transportation system, resulting in a large scale natural gas shortage, which had a devastating economic impact on the Midwestern industry. So, with all that being said, I'm going to summarize this act. The EPCA provides security for the operation of the U.S. energy market in the 1970s. However, due to the export restriction extended by the EPCA, production of the oil and gas industry, which was booming at the time, was suppressed. Since both oil and gas need to address issues such as suppliers and transportation, EPCA protects the economy and security while undermining EPCA's original goals. But the presence of EPCA has helped the United States keep the energy prices low and enhance the U.S. impact on future energies. Thank you guys for watching.